Lisa. The first time he walked into her shop, the rowing room, she felt him before she saw him. Not a vision, not a voice, just a pressure, a cold metallic tightening behind her ribs, as if the air itself recoiled. She looked up and saw a man with pliant eyes and a too careful smile. And she felt something else, faint but unmistakable. He was looking for someone. She didn't know who, she didn't know why, but she knew it wasn't her. She tucked a strand of her red hair behind her ear and forced a smile. He ignored her shelves full of tarot cards, crystals and incense, walked straight past the Wiccan paraphernalia, meditational ephemera and marijuana accoutrements, and asked for a psychometry reading. He handed her a silver earring. The moment he touched her palm, she felt a jolt, fear, sharp and sudden, like a memory that wasn't hers. A woman, a moment of finality, a sense of being watched. She steadied her breath and gave him the gentlest reading she could manage. He watched her too closely. When he left, the air felt lighter. That night, she dreamed of a city alley, a red-haired woman running, a sense of being followed. She woke with her heart pounding. He returned a month later. Another object, another echo. A ribbon this time, red, soft, trembling with panic. And beneath the fear, she sensed something else. Is she Jessica? Not words, not a sentence, just the emotional shape of a thought. She nearly dropped the ribbon. She smiled politely, as if nothing were wrong. Her instincts told her to remain guarded, to not show too much of what she was sensing. When he left, she locked the door and sat behind the counter until her hand stopped shaking. She didn't want to look up missing persons. She didn't want to see if the impressions meant anything, but she did, and there they were. A hitchhiker outside Tulsa, a waitress in New York, a student in Baltimore, all red-haired, all gone. She tried to tell herself it was coincidence. She tried to tell herself she was connecting dots that weren't there, but every time he returned, he brought something new. A watch, a button, a necklace. Each one carried the same emotional residue, fear, finality, and him. She thought about going to the sheriff, but the sheriff was the pastor's brother, and the pastor had preached sermons about occult influences more than once. Lisa was Wiccan, she read tarot, she lived alone. She dyed her hair red once years ago and kept it that way because she liked it. People tolerated her, they didn't trust her. She imagined walking into the station and saying, "I get impressions from objects. I think a man who visits my shop is dangerous." She imagined the look on their faces. She didn't go. She had one close friend, older, gentle, a little scattered. They drank wine together, smoked a little pot, talked about everything and nothing. Lisa loved her, and she refused to drag her into this. Her friend was fragile, soft-hearted, useless in a crisis. Lisa realised with a cold clarity her safety was entirely on her. She considered cutting her hair, dyeing it brown, changing her look, but she knew instinctively, viscerally, that any sudden change would alert him. He was watching her too closely. He was studying her. He was deciding something. And she sensed faintly through the objects he bought. She's Jessica. She's finally Jessica. Next time will be the last. So she kept her hair. Not out of vanity, out of strategy. She wasn't a gun person. She didn't like them, didn't want one, didn't want to carry one, didn't want to practice. But she got a concealed carry permit. She bought a small, reliable handgun. She learned to use it, quietly, methodically. Not out of desire, out of necessity. Because she knew he was circling her. Because she knew he'd decided something about her. Because she knew no one was coming to help. She felt him before she heard him, a shift in the air, a tightening in her chest, a whisper of intention that wasn't hers. "Tonight, Jessica." She stepped into the back room to steady herself, to breathe, to prepare. When she returned to lock up, she sensed it behind her before he spoke. "Jessica." She turned. She saw the certainty in his eyes, the same cold finality she'd felt in every object he'd ever bought her. Then his hand went inside his coat, a gesture she recognised, a gesture she had seen echoed again and again in the impressions of all the women before her, a gesture that always meant the same thing. She knew what came next in his plans, but she had prepared for this moment in a way he never imagined. She acted, instinctively, decisively, the way she had practiced, the way she'd hoped she'd never have to. The sound that followed was louder than anything she'd ever heard at the range, a thunderclap that seemed to shake the walls. As he fell, the air shifted, the pressure lifted, the impressions faded. She stepped closer, steady, composed. "I saw you were a killer the first time you visited me," she said softly. Then, because it mattered, because it was the one thing he had never granted her, she added, "And my name is Lisa."